Hey, GutFoxx here. MUT Men Podcast number 81 on deck for you guys. We got a packed agenda. We got Texas boy. How you doing?
Not gonna cough this episode. I promise.
Did you take those Twitter comments personally?
I promise. I've been trying to go through each episode whenever I cough on my end, just cut them out. And I forget a couple, which makes me mad. Cause I go back and listen to the entire show. And I'm like, I'm cutting these coughs out. I just can never get all of them out. But no cough this time. No cough this time.
Okay. Well. Hopefully our audience will be forgiving this time if a cough happens. If not, maybe cough drop on deck. So, also, I want to say this before the show. Please rate us 5 stars because that's the only way we're getting discovered on iTunes. Our guest here, Kliquid, left a very generous, very nice 5-star review for us. So we brought him on. No, that's not why we brought him on. But
I knew there was a reason.
Kliquid, how are you, good sir?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Good. Kliquid, he has a YouTube channel. Link will be in the description along with Texas's stuff. And check it out. Kind of an OG Madden YouTuber. Probably one of the best conversationalists I know in the Madden community. Like, very good with words. His thoughts on how to run a government, maybe not so much. But we won't get into that. But he basically saved my fantasy season. Kliquid, how do you also feel about being the fantasy football guru?
Oh, well, I wish it translated into my league with Tex so he didn't have to talk shit to me all the time. Dude, I could go I'm in 11 leagues this year. I could win 10 leagues and lose that one league, and Tex is like, man, you trash at fantasy football. I don't know if you knew that.
That's how it works, man. That's how it works. I have no perspective. I'm the perspectiveless fantasy football player. And I enjoy trolling Kliquid every chance I get. Mm-hmm. He's lucky Steve Smith retired this year because for the past 2 years, personal vendetta. This dude Kliquid says Steve Smith is a washed up bum receiver, and every time they played, me and him played against each other, I always started Steve Smith in every single game. He had at least 20 plus points.
That's actually true. Yeah. That is true, and disgustingly true considering those were his only 20 plus point games.
So it's fun trolling Kliquid about it, but yeah, he's better fantasy than I am. I just like beating him because he's more knowledgeable and it makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like he told me to grab a Kareem Hunt and basically Kareem Hunt to save my season. But who was the other one? Yo, Delvin Cook. I missed Delvin. Yeah. I missed Delvin by 1 pick, but I guess in the end it doesn't hurt me too bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, nobody's here for fantasy football and talk about our own fantasy team. It's kind of like, I don't know. What I think Bill Simmons said once. It's kind of like talking about, what the hell did he say? That nobody else cares about your own fantasy team.
Yeah, so I'm not about your own fantasy football team. They only care about theirs.
Yeah, they only care about
guys at work. Stop mentioning it to me. And you're nobody likes that guy that talks about fantasy football at work.
Because the thing is, like, when you talk about your team, they're just waiting to talk about their team. They're like nodding their head. Yep,
they're not listening at all.
Yeah.
Anyways, much like Texas does to me on the podcast, he's just waiting for his turn to speak. Doesn't listen.
Huh? You said something?
Dude, Sly was pretty bad at that too. I love Sly, but man.
All right, so I'll just run through the agenda here quick, and then we'll get right into the first topic. So the patch is the biggest thing that went down in the Mutt community this past week. It kind of screwed some things up, which we're going to talk a lot about. The Mutt squads, auction house changes, catching and QB accuracy. Then we're going to get into Team of the Week. Kliquid's general thoughts about Madden 18, any ideas going forward to improve Madden, and then Mutt, and then maybe some competitive Madden talk. And let's start off with the patch and kind of something that went wrong, and Twitter's kind of been in flames about it for a couple days now. Mutt squads and the Mutt squad rewards. Texas, do you want to do a breakdown of the rewards and how it changed?
Mutt squads and the rewards. So I just turned my Xbox off, but luckily there's a Mutt head post from Jake Stein that I can get to in a second. But what they did to change it was to combat bots, which is kind of annoying right now because you get into those games with those guys that don't really, just kind of, I don't want to say scum the system, but they're kind of finding a way to make coins out of it. So to combat them, they brought out season, which you've been wanting. So they changed it to season format where we can actually get rewards for the higher you level up in it, which is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and find it on Mudhead real quick while y'all can talk about something like coffee.
Yeah. So talk about coffee. Coffee is great.
Beans?
Yeah.
Right?
But anyways, about the changes, Kliquid, let me hear. I guess let's wait to hear what the changes were first before we give our opinions.
Thank you, Control History. Appreciate it. Good thing I wasn't watching porn this week. All right, so they changed the format up, and so for rookie first string, if you win 11 games, the format was you win one game, you get one collectible. Now the format is you win 11 games, and rookie 2, which is what you start out with, you get 16,100 coins, which is kind of a weird amount, 10 tokens, and then you get one gold player pack. That's pretty cool. You get one less token, but the coins are more than make up for it, plus the gold player pack. And obviously you want to aspire to get to all Madden 1, which you should get to. I did the math yesterday. I think you have to win, like, the Super Bowl? Actually, it's going to make the playoffs, really. You got to win probably, 7 times 6, like 40-plus games, and you get to all Madden pretty easy. And so once you get to all Madden first string, you'll get 49,500 coins, 25 squad tokens, and it says a Super Bowl winners reward pack, which I don't know what that is. But you get some cool stuff for playing. So it sucks for dudes grinding right now that are at the lower stages, but once you get to the higher stages, the coins and the tokens are actually more than worth it.
All right, Texas. Kliquid. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think my opinion overall is I would agree with Tex in terms of that when you grind and you actually get to those higher levels, you're absolutely right that you're getting rewarded for it, of course. The issue, of course, is that in order to get to those higher levels, you're going to have to be with a group, right? So, like, the three of us would have to play together and probably play together pretty regularly in order to get the chemistry needed to actually get to that level, which is totally fine. The issue that I have is I think it's going to turn people away who don't play in groups. You know, people that just go in and match up with two other random people. I think that those people are going to be pissed because if they lose basically any games, they're not going to get shit for rewards.
Yeah, the thing is, I think the thing that's mostly driving individuals away from MUT squads are the MUT squad teammates that they get matched up against.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think, because I've been playing some MUT squad stuff on my own, and oh my goodness, is it just frustrating the way they play the game. So that alone takes me away from the mode. The point of MUT squads, in my opinion, is to get together with friends in order to do that together, to be a good group together. The only reason to go in there on your own is to try and grind for, like, MUT Master or something like that. But so, in my opinion, I don't think that's an issue. If you want to play on yourself, there's like 4 different game modes to play on by yourself.
But people like the team aspect of it still. You know, I think I completely agree with you in terms of that there are game modes for individuals, but there are also people that I know that enjoy going in and playing squads, even if they get matched up with randoms, or maybe they only have 2 people and they get matched up with one other random person, and it's not so bad. You know, to me, I think that removing the 1 squad token per win, I think is a step in the wrong direction. I still think it should be, at least at the lower levels, 1 squad token per win. And then in addition to that, as you get higher up, then it can be more than that if you win more. Because honestly, these squad tokens don't really give you anything of real value. If you look at it, you still get terrible rewards at the end of it. Mm-hmm. You still need 60 of those things to get 1 card that's worth a shit. Potentially worth a shit. It isn't even guaranteed to be worth anything, you know? So that's frustrating to me because I have sat and grinded to get these squad tokens 1 win at a time, and I know if I was not in a group of people that win most of the time, it would really frustrate me and really turn me away from the game mode, I would say.
All right, Texas?
I was watching the actual CC, Cheese's Crest, for those on Twitter. He broke it down mathematically for, like, what the squad's token kind of is, and now it's not. So before, you grind get 1 per game. He's like, yo, basically, if you get, 5 of these, it's enough for a pro pack. And a pro pack's $1.50. If you break that down, it's like 85 cents per half an hour you're playing Madden. So there's not much there. So I don't know why they couldn't just give you the 11 tokens. Like, why do you have to get to these certain wins to get that 1 just to combat bots? Like, couldn't they just ban the bots? Like, what? That seems more like a logical thing to do.
Right.
But I guess they're just like, no, we can't do that. We'll just punish everybody. And then we'll make up for it on the back end. But if you're stuck on the front end, you're not going to be able to get any of this stuff.
The thing is I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually went in and looked, and the bots are winning like 1/3 of their games. I know that sounds insane, but their records, because I actually had screenshots of it. I think I posted them at one point. If you look at their records, they were winning like 1 out of every 3 of their games. So yeah, this is going to hurt them, but at the end, they're still making profit. it's just reducing their profit. It's not like they're not getting anything anymore.
So what's your argument there, that they didn't do enough to combat bots?
No, my argument is that they were doing this, in my opinion, to combat bots, and really all that they did was just slightly lower the rewards that the bots have. They still are going to exist. They're still going to be there. They're still not going to be banned, and people are still going to be matching up with them on their team.
So Mutt Squad still doesn't take contracts, right?
Correct.
I don't think it does. You get contracts for losing.
But even if it did, contracts aren't that expensive. If they're winning 1 out of 3 of their games, it's not going to affect anything.
But so
and
you guys are basic.
Whose contracts would it affect, by the way? That's the other thing. Everybody.
No, sorry. I was. Yes. That's the thing about Mutt Squads. Your biggest argument and your biggest problem with it is what you see as lowered rewards, right?
Correct. Yep.
So Mutt Squads, is this the same reward system as regular head-to-head? Is it the same, but with different like collectibles? Do you know Texas?
Kind of.
I'm not exactly sure.
I think that's what Jake.
I
think that's what Jake said, was that it was meant to mirror the current head-to-head reward system, which is also ass, by the way. But yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that Mutt Squads doesn't take contracts immediately boosts the reward quite a bit, because contracts, they're actually kind of expensive, and packs aren't spitting them out as frequently as they were last year. So
That's true, I guess.
As to the rewards, I can see what you're saying, and I think we just have a difference of opinion here. I like that they're rewarding winning as a team overall and winning Super Bowls, because just winning one and done, and how the old season structure was kind of done, it was kind of like just like those old football games where all they had was, or Canadian Football 17. When it launched, all they had was you play one game, you're done, you're back out to the menu. And that's I don't think that's a very in-depth mode, because you remember at the beginning of 17 when they took out seasons and they took out the Super Bowl, and everybody in the community was up in arms, and we hated the change. We wanted the Super Bowl. We wanted the reward for us grinding that mode, and so they ended up giving us that back. And what EA did is ended up giving a Super Bowl reward structure, something to strive for, something to go to make it more in depth for this Mutt Squads, and we flame them for it. I think we just hate change more than anything else.
I don't think it's the change though, but I'm looking at this as a structure. It's 5 wins for 1 token, and so obviously, like Kliquid was saying, if you get with a good squad, that's not going to be a big deal. But I played 2 games by myself, and we went 0-2, and it's not anything I could have done. The quarterback wasn't throwing the ball well; he was forcing passes, and then the defense that we were running just wasn't doing anything to stop it. So it just doesn't help the guys that are already playing solo dolo. Before they get one winning at a token, now they got to win 5 in 4 tries, because they lose 4 games, they got to start over. And let's say they went 3 games, they lose 4, they got to start over. Like you got to win 5 to get that token, which people are loving to get the, what do you call it, the 87 to 80, 90 overall, to get the 4 for the 80 and 90, and you also got the John Madden people maybe are trying to do as well. It just makes it harder to get your team put together, because now you got to win a lot more games for a little less rewards at first. That's the only complaint I have. I wish it was just kind of the same for rookie, and then they can go more in depth when it gets higher up.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
right,
and I want to say one other thing too on this, because I don't think that it's the actual seasons that's a problem to me. I just look at it like, I've been playing Mutt Squads. I've played, I don't know, 150, maybe more than that, games in Mutt Squads, and I've disconnected like 10 times. And I think that's a pretty big issue when you're talking about having reward systems that really don't reward you unless you win all of the games. And if your squad as a whole gets the win, then I think that's great. You know, like as far as if I for some reason get booted out of the game, not a connection issue on my end because I'm sitting in a Skype call with them and I never lose signal or anything like that. It's just for some reason I disconnect to the EA servers and my friends go on to win the game 42-7. I should also still get that win. You know, I think that's a major issue, because if I don't get that win, then suddenly my rewards are like cut in half if you get to those higher levels, you know, or even at the lower levels. If I don't win my Super Bowl because of a connection issue, I get completely screwed and I have to start over and play another 13 games or whatever it is, you know?
I get you. And that disconnects is like a issue throughout Madden and have them happen and taking losses. And I guess we just have a difference of opinion. Like, that's gonna happen, and that sucks, and I hate that. But as the playoff structure, so it's are you guys sure it's one and done though?
No, it's 4. It's not one and done, but it's still.
So you can lose 4 games.
You can lose 4 games before you start over.
Okay.
On every level, it's 4.
I believe it's every level. I don't think they changed the losses for every level.
Oh, I thought when you got to higher levels that you had to win all of your games, basically.
Let me take a look. I'm on this.
Not. Well, no, it says 7-4 win-loss model. 7-4 win-loss model. So, or that's what it says for all Madden.
So what is the difference then between all Madden and rookie? So it's just reward. Because they're not going to be matching you up against better people.
So at all Madden,
they claim that.
They don't do that. That's been a lie for a while. I don't know why they keep doing that. Like, we can't actually ask a person we're playing against. I'm in rookie first. But so if you're all Madden, if you get 5 wins, you still only get 4 tokens. But that's better than being in rookie first and then getting 1 token for 5 wins.
Yeah, if you're right that it is 4 losses for all of the different levels, then I have a way less of an issue with the whole thing, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I was under the impression that it was like the old seasons where if you lost like even 1 game in all Madden, you're just donezo.
No, you can lose a few, but avoiding demotion in all Madden, you have to win 7 games. I think out of 10, right? So you can lose 3 in all Madden first.
Okay.
On head-to-head, I know, but with this.
No, I'm looking at it on right now. I got my Xbox on. I'm looking at the rewards now.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But anyways, moving on from that. So. Yeah. Moving on to the auction house changes and kind of their issues with. Sorry, I just got a message. The auction house changes. Basically, they're besides for the ghosting issue and they're resetting filters every time you try to get like say you're trying to complete a set for some like large gold collection. So you go in, you buy a card, it resets your filters. It's making sniping harder. I heard tonight on stream that it's actually better to snipe right now because a lot of people are kind of sick of the filters. So it's actually becoming more profitable. So take that for what you will. It's kind of balancing out. Anyways, what do you guys think of them screwing up the auction house filters? Just kind of more on EA. And I think they did acknowledge this is kind of a bug. Texas?
It's kind of funny because, like, I don't know how they messed this up, but they got the set stuff right. So I don't know if you know this or not. If you go through the set and try to make a gold token for the Chargers, for example, if you go to 75 to 79 and go through that set to go buy a card, it only shows you Chargers that are from that rating. So they made that a thing now. I don't know if that's been kind of underreported. Nobody knows about it, seems like, where you can just go through the set and they'll put you on this cards you're searching for in that set. It's dope.
It's like a built-in filter.
Yeah, it's a built-in filter now.
That's
and
cool,
you can sort down by going by position, by offense, defense, stuff like that. It's still the same format, but it's now you don't got to actually put the cards in or put the tabs in for what you want to look for. So they fixed that, which we've been clamoring for a while when they broke this. Hopefully, if they fix this, it doesn't break that, because that's kind of cool. I take that exchange. I'll take going through a set and going right to the card as opposed to putting it in every single time. So it's kind of annoying that they broke the game by updating it, but that typically happens with EA. I don't know how many updates they put into the game where it breaks something. So he's gonna get used to that at this point.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I honestly, man, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think people are kind of overinflating how big of a deal it is. That the people that snipe on the market, that spend all day sitting and going through and filtering different things, like I can imagine that being frustrating for them, that's not there anymore. But I just think that's such a small number of people in the grand scheme of things. It's got to be like just a minute percentage of people that do that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be profitable, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It feels like there's quite a few, but
well, you just know quite a few people because they're savages and they're on Reddit, you know.
Yeah,
right? I mean, I think we just get. I think a lot of times we get the wrong impression of what the real community feedback is, just based on our community that we have, and that's whether it be YouTubers, whether it be Twitter followers, whether it be people on Reddit, because that's not the average player. You know, those people are way more invested in it than the average player who's just like, oh, I'd like to go play a game of Madden Ultimate Team today. that's still, I think, the majority of people. I could be wrong on that, but I still think the majority of people are pretty casual on the game, and they might not even know if you said sniping filter. They'd be like, well, what is that? They don't even know what that means.
It is a good point. There is quite a bit of money to be made off kind of those noobs that kind of just leave the filter standard by time remaining. Like at the beginning of the game, you could just I think TT gave this tip on the podcast. You could buy an elite card, list it for 2,000 more coins, and somebody's gonna buy it near the end of the time remaining if you list it for an hour. Like that's how easy it was early in the game. I don't know if it's still that way right now, but yeah, there's money to be made off those noobs, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to the other thing they screwed up, at least from what I heard. I played about 10 games of squads last night and then another 6 or 7 games of salary cap tonight. Mm-hmm. Everybody on Twitter is in flames about wide receiver catching the ball, and there's more drops and dropped interceptions now. And Rex actually said on Twitter that they're right.
Oh, no.
I didn't notice it too bad, but Rex said it's a bug and they're going to try and fix it in the next patch. Now, obviously, Texas doesn't believe him.
We just got a patch like a day ago. It took them it says day 30 patch. This has been like 2 months, it feels like. Like, what are we doing? The next patch will go back in December.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with all this stuff, is there's no QA testing. Nobody plays this damn game. No one, I cannot imagine that anyone on their team is actually playing the game. And if they are, I apologize. I don't mean to call anybody out in specific. I know they're understaffed and everything like that. But, dude, there's no way that you could play this game legitimately and not see some of these issues. The auction house thing, maybe. I can see that slipping by because they're probably not really on top of that stuff. But actually the gameplay stuff, wide receivers dropping passes, how would you not notice that if you play, even like you said, 10 games? You play 10 games. How do you not notice that?
To be fair, I haven't really noticed it any worse than before. Like what? Oh, I would say one. There was one wide receiver drop that I said maybe he should have held on to that. But I've seen drops before the patch too.
I'm thinking defensive more so on picks because we're seeing videos just from countless amount of people at this point where they're throwing lob passes in the flats at safeties. And Rodney Harrison is jumping up and should be getting a pick animation, and he is, but then he drops it and it says low catch rating.
Yeah, but Rodney Harrison, he's dropped a few picks pre-patch,
Sure.
But his catching, let me look it up.
It's terrible. It's like 67, I think, right?
And should 60 like what's the point of the catching stat? It's 60.
You know what? That's what I've been
It's
saying
60.
for a while as well. Because I've never seen more guys use worse players to catch picks in Madden this year.
Sure.
And so,
That's
I
fair.
guess that would explain why they did interception specialist, because there really was no point for that chemistry being put in the game. I watched your video about that earlier. Like, this is stupid. It's redundant. We already got good catching in this game. Guys catch everything thrown to them. So why do we need this ability? So I guess if they are going to actually make catching matter at a certain threshold, you'll catch 5 out of 10 if you have like this type. But if you have this, you'll have 7 out of 10. If they get intercept specialist 10 out of 10, like I think then that'll be worth actually picking up. Because then they're forcing you to play the game differently instead of using guys like Charles Haley at defense, that outside linebacker because he's fast, or Willie McGinnis, who have all low catching.
Can we not admit, though, that every human that's like adult human could catch most of these interceptions? I mean, I'm talking about like lob passes 15 feet away.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
I mean,
but
I could throw the ball to my
my
3-year-old daughter, and she's gonna catch it 1 out of 10 times at least.
That's true.
You know what I
but
mean?
But her catch rating is not a number though. Like hers is. This is like
Her catch rating would be like 6. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be terrible. But my point is like these are adult humans. The fact that they make some of their catching so terrible is just preposterous. I understand catching traffic and that kind of stuff. I feel like needs to be even nerfed almost to an extent.
Yes,
but it's the wide open interceptions that are lob passes that are terrible reads. You know, those are the things that I think need to be changed. And to me, it went in the wrong direction as far as I can tell with this patch update.
So is this just exclusive to just Madden Ultimate Team competitive gameplay? Because I played squads and I played draft champions, didn't see any of these issues. But
I don't know.
I haven't played Mutt yet, so.
Texas, I played salary cap and squads and rarely saw the issues too.
Okay. Because I see low catch rating all the damn time. I see dudes swap ball low catch rating, so not even going for a pick. But I have not seen the drops. I played probably 4 games today, and then 2 yesterday, and then squads. I played. I tried to stream with a subscriber that quarterback. He was bad. If you listen to this, man, I'm sorry. You were terrible. Like, you were so bad.
Savage.
But, like, every pick he threw, they caught. So I don't know.
I realize we got your boy Savage on the podcast.
They didn't really drop anything.
Well, how about the thing that I have the issue with, I guess, is more so when they talked about creating different game types to begin the year. So they had the sim game type, they had the competitive game type, and various different things like that in the arcade mode, right? They were supposed to do different things. And for competitive, as far as I understood it, it was supposed to be way fewer dropped picks, way fewer dropped, receptions for wide receivers, things like that, like way fewer, because that's what the competitive community was clamoring for. Now, sim, I can understand that a little bit more, but for a competitive game mode, you don't, and especially when you're talking about salary cap and you can't have all receivers that are 90+ catching, you have to be able to throw to guys that don't have great catch rating and have them catch the ball at least, 3/4 of the time.
Yeah. Rex said on the Hidden podcast, or the Lost podcast, that the reason the thresholds are in the game is because that's when he sat down with the competitive guys like Problem. I think, did he say Mo? I don't remember. But when he sat down with those guys and talked about it, they came up with thresholds as above this threshold, you're going to catch the ball. And so that's kind of what it is right now, and that's what we've moved to in Madden 18 with these thresholds. So once you hit that threshold, you're fine, and that's a whole other discussion with the thresholds.
How about we make that shit public instead of making
that's the
YouTubers
exact discussion.
Instead of making YouTubers expose your game for being a fraud,
Bring out the magnifying glass.
Just
over
just like
testing stuff.
Just tell us the real stuff. Don't have Clint on Twitter talking about what attributes matter and they really don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm ranting.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I got nothing to add to that. Yeah, 100%. Texas, anything to add to thresholds in their point of view? In your point of view?
I mean, can they add Can they next year add thresholds with also the chance to make them better? So like 91 zone is not the best zone in the game all year.
Do you think that's gonna get patched? Do you think it's gonna change?
No. They didn't have. I haven't heard anything about them patching it, and I doubt they do. They should. Like, what they should do is patch it again with the threshold. Once we get better players, make it at 95.
Can I?
So that 91 becomes like not as good anymore. So that way you can actually have to upgrade your team, because there's no point upgrading your team right now besides just getting speed at that cornerback or safety position. So they do if they update it again where the threshold is now 95, then there'll be a point to upgrade.
I got to be honest, man. I think thresholds are trash in general. Because, like, if you really think about it, should it really be the difference, one attribute really be the difference between your player playing, like, a non-NFL player or playing, like, the greatest NFL player of all time? It's so weird that that's what happens. And we still, even though this stuff is public information at this point, if you've watched people's videos, you can see the difference between 90 zone and 91 zone. We still have people out here that are like, oh my God, he has 90 zone. And I'm like, dude, that's ass. I'm sorry, that's ass. It's basically unusable.
To be fair, Kliquid, 90. There's 2 different thresholds. One at 90, one at 91.
Fair enough. Sure. Okay, 89 then.
Yeah, 89 is trash.
It's dumb. It makes absolutely no sense if you really think about it. And to me, it shouldn't just be like, once he gets to this level, then he's going to do this every single time. That's really weird, because even if you look at the real NFL, right? Richard Sherman, let's say he's, maybe people don't agree with this, but let's say he's the best zone coverage cornerback in the league. He's still going to get beat sometimes on certain moves by certain guys at certain points in the game. I don't think everything should just be a mathematical formula like, every time that this happens, it's going to work out this way. I think that's wrong, because that's where you get these exploits where people are saying, I have quote-unquote cover 4 beaters because it always beats cover 4. There should be no play that always beats a certain coverage, in my opinion.
Well, okay, here's the thing, Kliquid. You're kind of getting into the argument of sim versus competitive. The reason that we have these thresholds is because competitive mode is the way we play MUT head-to-head, DC, salary cap. the competitive community wants these guaranteed results from guaranteed movement. So and with the video game and the way that competitive players want, they want now whether your opinion is different than theirs on this, it seems, but they want it. So if they do something, if they read a cloud flat and they throw underneath the cloud flat on a drag, they're going to get completion and be able to rack it up the field. Mm-hmm. If you throw a cover 4 beater, it's going to be the cover 4. Now, I love cover 4 beaters. I do not like a game where one coverage can lock it all down. I love being able to throw. It's a pin concept. It works in the NFL too with the deep post and then a crossing routes underneath to pin that safety and then go over top of them. So I'm fine with the video game saying, okay, if you run this route against a cover 3 with hard flats, you're going to win. And so on and so forth. If you know the game and you can read the coverages correctly, you're going to succeed. That's, in my opinion, great for a competitive esport and how I'm fine playing Madden.
I think the problem is that it creates exploits, right? Because there are certain things that are absurdly difficult to cover. Just as an example, right? It's 3rd and 19, for example, okay? And my opponent runs an out route at the sticks on both sides of the field. That is extraordinarily difficult to cover this year.
Yeah, you gotta go to the sticks. So if you
have to play the sticks.
If you call a cover 2 or cover 4, and then hit Y left bumper.
Yeah, no, I know it's possible, but I'm just saying like that kind of stuff becomes a lot more difficult unless you can totally see it coming, you know? And even if you can see it coming, if your guy doesn't have good zone coverage, you're gonna get beat.
I don't know about that.
Well, we'd have to test it out because I sat and played, I don't know, like 18 or something like that games, and I pretty much every 3rd and long I pretty much ran that every single time, and it worked every single time unless my quarterback overthrew it. Like no one covered it, and these guys had decent cornerbacks too. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just running into people that are trash, which is definitely a possibility. But I just think those types of routes shouldn't just always be there unless you run a certain thing on defense and then it's always locked up. I think that's silly, and I think it's completely unrealistic. I get what you're saying as far as the competitive players asked for that, but I think that it just goes a little bit too far at times, and it becomes almost like a not a real competitive atmosphere. It's not any sort of simulation to the NFL. It's just kind of like it's almost like a math game at that point, which is, I think, weird.
More like chess at that point.
Yeah, that's a better way of phrasing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Texas, any thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree. I don't like the exploits and how you can everything's like. I kind of wish it was more like players to evolve, but we already got to talk about this a while ago about the AI and how they should be able to adapt to what's going on, but we won't see that for a while.
Especially if they have high awareness and play rec. Mm-hmm. Oh, I ran the same play 58 times in a row, and my defenders didn't figure it out ever. Great. You know? That's irritating.
The counter argument is that, like, do you want them changing their assignment without you telling them to do that?
If they got the awareness of player, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
They do it already they already do it with the zone. Like 91 zone's kind of a glitch anyway. I don't know how many times a guy jumps a route that's thrown to the middle of the field because he sees it coming.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's just because they press the button, and you see right when you press the button against 91 zone.
Yeah. So they already changed the assignment there. So like they kind of try to be with, if you have that, but then they would have to make that attribute actually matter, which I don't know if they know how to do that or not.
You're right. having them change the assignment is definitely a concern, of course. But I think it's tough to watch competitive Madden right now because and especially in the previous years, and I guess I haven't watched a lot of it this year because they haven't really publicly displayed a whole lot of it, right? But in the past, it's like, wow, everybody's running bunch. Wow, everybody's running this, you know? And it's annoying because you know the reason that they're doing it is because it's an exploit, you know?
Yeah, it's this year it's single back tight slots and bunch.
Yeah,
your
again.
Fault, by the way, your
bunch.
fault.
Bunch has been one of the most popular, probably one of the top 2 or 3 most popular formations for like the last 4 or 5 years. And it's compressed sets every down. It's not realistic, but it works in Madden. And it's weird. It's weird. The weird thing about bunch and compressed sets is they can attack horizontally better than wide spread sets can. It's
more field to work with.
Yeah, because you're able to get those corner routes that aren't really recognized as well by cloud flats, and I don't know. It's kind of strange.
Defense, it's kind of hard to stop, and like the wham play is also like wham and stretch plays are just the worst.
Yeah.
Now. Especially because, like, even like I don't know how many times I've been blocked with Randy Moss. I got Julius Peppers. They come out in this tight formation. I'm like, all right, this should be run a stretch play. I dare you. Randy Moss out here blocking Peppers like he's like a damn lineman. I'm like, what are we doing here? So I don't know what's going on out of these tight formations. But the run games are
Have you noticed?
But it's crazy out of it.
Have you noticed that that's only happening in the compressed sets, or is wide receiver blocking just OP in general?
Wide receiver blocking is OP for what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because everybody has high run block anyway. So so a lot of guys have like between 60 and 70 run block regardless. But like I don't know why they have the ability to block defensive ends.
Yeah.
That is
Texas,
weird.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I constantly see my tight ends and wide receivers get.
Okay, no, I see those.
I
see those guys get rushed, but receiver wise, I see tight ends all the time. Delaney Walker's trash at run blocking this year. He has 82 run block. He can't do anything. Same thing with Zach Miller. I'm struggling with tight ends, but with receivers, I don't know how many times I can cut the ball outside and my guy has a linebacker pinned. Like I don't get it. It just makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Because the angle of the block, probably.
Maybe that, or it's just this, or I had to click on and hit square real quick so the guy will shove him to the ground. It's like they want me to have a user over there that way I can control. So I think Mutt Squads is probably going to be where I reside the entire time, because that you don't see it as often in Mutt Squads because you actually have a user over there to get that receiver and punish him, because it's kind of annoying. Because Randy Moss is the worst run block in this game. I don't know if you got it for a receiver. If you, I think it's like 40, or less than that.
30 something. Yeah.
He shouldn't be blocking anybody, but I've seen countless times where he just blocks linebackers and cornerbacks and safeties like he is beast. But then I got Delaney Walker, and he engaged in Deion Sanders and lets it go immediately. So tight ends aren't that good this year. I don't know if it's impact block or if it's just.
It's not the ratings, dude. It's the game being glitched. I mean, because if it was ratings, then Randy Moss wouldn't have better blocking than Delaney Walker. That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah. He's not better at any blocking attribute than Delaney Walker. Anything across the board. So the issue is obviously that the sets are forcing us, like Fox said, either it's the angle of the block, or it's just the fact that they coded it somehow where wide receivers are better at blocking than tight ends. That doesn't, I mean, it's totally makes no sense. But that's EA, and that's why competitive Madden isn't very entertaining to watch, because these guys are so good at what they do, and I hate to shit on them at all. I think they're really great at what they do, but the problem is that as a viewer, it's not even moderately realistic, and you can just see there's so many preposterous things that happen in the games where you're just like, this is dumb.
Yep, just like we have a problem during a tournament. You see that? Anybody see that here?
I watched the tournament. That I saw him lose.
Did you see what happened, Fox?
No, I haven't watched barely any competitive.
Okay, so I was just chilling because I wanted to see Problem, because I like Problem. Root for him to win a tournament this year. So being Kliquid, watching his stream while we're playing, I think squads. Problem runs that toss cheese. Everybody's running out of the tight formation. I don't know what playbook it is.
Oh yeah, tight slots.
Stevie J cheese.
It's in Jets, Saints, and there's another Houston. It's in. I think one more. Yeah.
Okay, so he was running that. He motioned the receiver like everybody else has been doing. But this time, his receiver, instead of going out and blocking, came back and hit the ball before the running back got it. And so it was a fumble. And the guy on the other team picked it up and ran it for a touchdown. Problem's down 14-0 right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of cool with that play because it's it's pretty overpowered, that toss play. Yeah. I'm pretty cool, like Kliquid's adaptable AI. It's kind of like, hey, fuck you, stop running me.
I hate to advocate for that, but it's just like, man, is there anything more frustrating than when you're playing on defense and you have these really great players? I'm sure it happens to you all the time, GutFoxx, where you're like, I have the best possible player at this position, and he just will not play this route, and I can't get him to cover it, over and over and over again. And you're a good player, so eventually you're going to adapt, but there are a lot of people out there who are not very good, and it's frustrating as hell, and it makes you not want to play the game anymore when you watch your guy just consistently miss the same thing, and you're like, I can't cover that side of the field and this side of the field at the same time, damn it. It's irritating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot there to talk about. We'll circle back to competitive Madden at the end. But as to the being able to not cover routes, it's a lot better than it used to be. I'll just put it as that. Okay. in Madden 18. The running game with the toss and dive cheese, it's super annoying. But we'll circle back to that at the end.
Yeah, the fact that I can run the ball 90 plays or 90% of the plays without any problem, that's an issue.
On conservative, without fumbling,
that's an issue.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. The conservative and fumbling. Actually, let's do the whole competitive thing right now.
Okay.
So conservative and do you think having fumbling on conservative should have more penalties, Texas?
Yes, I don't know why
It doesn't have any
I can be on
penalties.
conservative, and I break so many tackles. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to go down like a sack of potatoes when I get touched. I'm supposed to be like a China dish falling on the floor. Like, I'm not supposed to be breaking tackles, but I break so many tackles on conservative. There's no point even putting on aggressive. I'll still LT he'll get hit, bounce off, he'll spin people, and nothing happens. But then you go on normal, and then you get one hit, the ball pops out. And so there needs to be more penalties where, like, I need to, if somebody engages in me, I can't break the tackle. Or if I do decide to go for a stiff arm, I have more penalty to fumble that come on conservative. I shouldn't be just trying to get my yards and go down. I should be like Ted again, get my first down out of bounds on conservative. But that's not how it is. It's really annoying that you can just put it on conservative and halfbacks, even though carry doesn't matter that much. Except for on quarterbacks for some reason. But halfbacks like Tyreek Cohen and guys who have like a 68 carrying can take over a game because they won't fumble no matter how many times you hit stick them, low or high.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But the only thing that works against it consistently is strips. I don't know. It's also, and I don't know how they can tune this, but if I go for a strip on a guy on conservative, he shouldn't break the tackle. Just saying. Maybe aggressive, he should break the tackle, but not on a conservative. Because he should just be falling to the ground.
It should be
not trying to fumble.
1 for 1, instead of I get what you're saying,
So
it should balance out.
So it's kind of like okay. So here's what I kind of relate that to, like a fighting game. When someone puts when they put their block up, you're able to grab that player and throw them.
Yeah.
Is this similar to like Madden? Like if they put that conservative on, you should be able to get that strip animation still, but the hit sticks won't work at all. Is that kind of what you're saying?
I think that'd be a little bit more fair, so that way you can go for the strip. But if you go for the strip, that person should break the tackle. That's what it should be.
So there should be a chance at fumble still and an immediate tackle.
Yes.
If you get the strip.
Yeah, because conservative. If you're a conservative ball carrier in the NFL, like conservative quarterback, you're gonna play it safe. If you're Alex Smith out there, you're not throwing down the field. You're gonna be taking 2-3 yard passes. So if you're a conservative as a running back, you're not fighting for yards. So if you go for the strip, don't break the tackle and fight for extra yards. Just fall down.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to play it safe. But if you're an aggressive, I go for that strip. That should be mean. I should miss and fly backwards because you're an aggressive. But if you get big here, the ball should pop out more because you're fighting for more yards. But it's like the AP versus who didn't fumble a lot in their career.
Who didn't?
Tomlinson.
Tomlinson. It's like
Yeah.
AP versus Tomlinson. AP is always on aggressive. He fumbled a lot for being super aggressive, but you were stripping that ball. You were stripping the ball. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should be like that, where you should be running super hard and breaking a lot of tackles, but you will fumble on aggressive. But conservative is you're dainty like a ballerina.
So it should be balanced better. I think we can all agree on that. But right now, for everybody, a tip: always go ball carrier conservative right now.
Yep. Always.
So as for competitive Madden, kind of to finish our thoughts on it, are you guys gonna watch any of the tournaments this year, or let's just start that one? Kliquid?
Yeah, I have fun watching them, man. For me, it's still entertaining. I don't know why I get into it as far as I don't really cheer for anybody individually because I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like close to anybody that's a competitive player, but I'm I talk in the DMs with like Mo and like Stevie J and now Chaos, and a few of these guys. So it's hard for me to like really necessarily cheer for any of them. And I think that's one of the issues with competitive at Madden right now is that there isn't a lot of people to cheer for. Essentially, pretty much everybody's either cheering for Problem or else they don't care, if that makes sense. The personalities just aren't clicking with people, or they're not doing a good job of promoting why I should cheer for this guy or this guy, right? And so for me, I just enjoy watching them play because I typically like to watch people who are the best of the best at whatever they're doing, whether it be Madden or Call of Duty or whatever type of game. I think it's just fun to watch competitive esports. So yeah, I'll probably watch most of them, or at least watch most of the tournaments anyway. I don't know if I'll end up watching all of it or anything, but I'll watch a good chunk of them.
I got you. Texas?
I don't know. I watched the couple games that Kliquid linked on Skype, and I was like, they're running the same things. On defense, which was overload, and on offense, it was a lot of single back, and then toss plays or rolling out of the pocket and just waiting.
Yeah.
And so I may not watch this first tournament because this first tournament is reg teams, and I don't want to say the same folk. I don't want to cuss. The same 4 teams everybody's using: Seahawks, Falcons. Who else is there? The Cowboys, and there's one more team.
Nobody really ran Cowboys except for Carry Q, I think. Okay. It was pretty much Seahawks, Falcons, and those were the main 2, I would say. I think a couple other people ran some other teams, if I remember, but
yeah.
I pretty much variety. Those 2, to be honest.
Yeah, I like variety. I like being able to see different teams, and so I'll wait till they do a salary cap or a draft champions team. Even though I think draft champion this is gonna be unfair because you know what's gonna happen. Somebody's about to get lucky and get a 91 zone at safety and cornerback and just shut the whole damn thing down.
Right.
So I think salary cap's gonna be fun to watch more so. So when they do a salary cap term, I'm gonna watch that, but I'm not gonna watch these. We'll watch this one for now.
They've got to put out these draft. They've got to start putting out more players that have 91 zone, man. It has to happen.
There's only 2 players in the game right now, stock, that have 91 zone, or 3.
Yeah, and you're right. And
actually more. Actually,
you don't get the boosts obviously on draft champs
boost,
either. So
it's a keep to leave with the new keep to leave, the Terrence Newman,
Boye, right?
No, Boye is 91 man 90 zone. So it's not
that's
terrible.
right. That's right.
Then you got free safety Krause, I think, who has it, and then you have Rodney Harrison who has it. And so I think it's only 4 players right now that have it stock. I could be wrong about that, but it's not that many. And so the one that gets, and also the superhero cards aren't actually in draft champions as of yet. When they do with draft champions, I'm pretty sure they'll be in there. But also at that time, you might already have some better players in the game that will be already in the pool over there. So we'll have to wait and see.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, what do you think could fix competitive man? Just got to promote it more, or is it just the gameplay in general?
Gameplay in general is pretty brutal, to be honest. Like Tex said, even as somebody who's involved in Madden and plays Madden pretty regularly, like he does, it's boring to watch people run the same stuff over and over and over again, and very few people have unique offenses or unique defenses. And it's almost like you want to cheer for the guys that do have those unique offenses and defenses. Like last year, Volterax, I don't know Volterax very well at all, but I was practically cheering for him to win because he was running such cheesy shit that it was just ridiculous, right? It was almost comical, and I wanted him to win because it would be so funny. At a certain point, they were literally like, he's going to run the swerve here, and it's like, that is not a real thing. You realize that, right? Commentators, that's not real. But here we are in the game, and that preposterousness is working. But at least it was something different. And then when Problem finally shut it down, it was like, oh my gosh, he's the GOAT. Nobody else could figure out how to stop this, and he finally shut it down and ended his season. That was that was a cool story, right? But it's like that's the kind of thing that we run into at this point is you pretty much have 1 or 2 people that are running something unique and everybody else is running the same type of stuff. That gets a little bit boring to watch. I think one of the big issues, like I said before, is that the focus isn't enough, in my opinion, on why I should cheer for these guys. And honestly, I think some of that's on them, or a lot of it's on them. And I'm sure if they hear about this, I'm going to get flamed like Cookie Boy did for saying that they're not entertaining or whatever. But I'm not even necessarily saying they're not entertaining. It's just that they don't show that they're entertaining when they're playing, right? These guys, a lot of them are super funny or over the top and ridiculous, and show that more. Stream your games and show in your YouTube videos that you have a lot of personality, and that kind of thing will grow your fan base, and then you will have people that are interested. Competitive Call of Duty was never very popular until Nadeshot took off on YouTube. And then when Nadeshot took off on YouTube, he was also a competitive player at the time. And so then all of a sudden Optic Gaming grows to be popular. And so still to this day, Optic Gaming is by far the biggest Call of Duty team. And he's not even on the team anymore. So you start to gain the notoriety for an organization, first of all, when these guys get popular and they build up their personality prior to or in addition to their competitive play. But you also build, I think, that longevity of people coming back and watching the game over time because they start to then see other people that they're become interested in, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure. So you think it really will take a competitive player to start a YouTube channel and consistently put out stuff on it? to make it huge.
Kind of. I think that, and I think they need to bite the bullet and start doing some of the stuff that people like Victionary do, or Tex, or Toke. So maybe opening packs isn't your thing, and maybe you'd rather make some gameplay tips. That's cool. You can mix that stuff in, but your average Madden consumer is more interested in watching some goofy challenge video than they are watching you dominate some poor kid on salary cap mode. That's just the reality of the situation. So you can have the ability to do that if you watch, like, for example, Optic Scumpy, who's maybe the best Call of Duty player in the world. If you go to his YouTube channel, almost none of his YouTube videos are actually him playing competitive Call of Duty. All of his videos are like him trying to get 100 kills, or maybe not 100. I think it was like 40 kills or 50 kills or something like that in a team deathmatch game out of 75 for his team. And so it was like these goofy challenges where he's showing off his skill, but he's putting it in such a crazy context of, I have to do this specific thing in this video, and then you see his personality, like, oh my gosh, he's really bringing in the intensity with it, or the excitement for it. And that, I think, is how you really grow your personality, more so than just, hey, I'm the best at this game and that's all there is to it. I think that doesn't really resonate with people as much as just playing the game in a goofy fashion and having fun with it.
I gotcha. Texas, what are your thoughts on that? Is it going to take a big YouTuber to blow competitive Madden up?
I don't even know if it take a big YouTuber. It just takes one big personality, really. The YouTube
Problem already has. Problem's already won. They need more than him.
I know. Problem's won, but I don't like Problem's not like I feel like you know how Michael Irvin is as a personality.
Yeah.
I feel like a person like that would make it go up, because the youth is speaking, man. The youth likes anarchy. They like those guys that are super energetic, super just into what they're doing. And I don't know if there's any competitive player that's that. I think that will help. Now, I think YouTube will aid in that, but I think if somebody comes out that's good at the game, that's arrogant as hell, and is what these young kids, what these millennials love, I think that will blow it up in a big way. Because I think, like I said, YouTube will help. Like Toke platform, if Toke was a competitive player, it'd be ridiculous.
Yep.
But I think if there was somebody that you could actually get behind, that weren't just these random names, other than Problem, obviously, I think that's the reason why we're not seeing as much growth as probably EA would like to see.
If Gaming Powerhouse was a little bit, so he's only been doing competitive, like truly competitive, for just this first season, right? I don't think he played at all competitive previously to this, if I remember correctly. But if he did, if he gets a little bit more consistent at playing and performing in those tournaments, and he makes his channel a little bit more like PG-13 friendly, I think
he started blocking out swear words.
Yeah, exactly. Because he wants to get that ad revenue, though.
Oh yeah.
But I think that he has the possibility of honestly transitioning that the Twitch community, first of all, the competitive community, and also the YouTube community. I think he actually kind of hits all three of those. That's who I really think of as being a really good possibility for doing it. And unfortunately, I don't know what it is about his channel, but his channel isn't growing at, in my opinion, the pace that it should, if that makes sense. And I don't know why that is. Maybe there's obviously a reason for it. I don't know what it is, but.
So, yeah, the thing is, I saw today that he gave up on Madden. He's going to be a Fortnite streamer now, so.
Damn.
GG to that.
Yeah, no kidding. Me too. I agree, Adam.
Kliquid's also switching over to Fortnite, right?
Yeah, Fortnite.
We were talking about before the podcast.
Fortnite all the way, baby. Woo!
Yeah. A lot of hype about that game out there. But back to Mutt and whatnot. So I think we said our piece about competitive Madden. Anything else you want to talk about, Texas, while Kliquid's here with us?
Nah, nothing really. Just good luck to those playing at this week's tournament.
Yeah.
And change your offense stuff. Start running the same faux plays. Like, it's not fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to have to change. Based on what I've seen, I don't think they'll have to change your offense at all. It's still going to be similarly glitchy.
Well, and
especially because a lot of the offenses now are just run the ball.
There needs to be a tournament where you can't run the same play more than once. Just so you can see the entire playbook. That'd be kind of fun.
That sounds like one of the Madden challenges that Nate Chow would do, right? That's what I was talking
exactly,
about.
yeah.
Goal line first.
I'm running every play in the playbook challenge, yeah.
I did that in one of my first challenge videos in MUT 15. It got like 3 views. But so did all my other videos.
Probably because you didn't title it correctly.
Yeah, my titles are trash back then.
Yeah.
All right, so
we all were. It's okay.
Everybody's gotten a lot better because you needed to get better or you didn't grow at all.
You died.
Titles are like 60. Not to get too much into like YouTube, but like titles, I feel are like 60% of a video. The other 20% is the thumbnail, and another 20% is the actual content.
Yeah, exactly. It might even be like 25 thumbnail, 15 for actual video.
It's not even close. It's crazy what YouTube
weird.
is. Anyways, moving on to Texas. I want to hear your story about quarterback accuracy after the patch.
Oh yeah, we forgot
quarterback
that.
accuracy. So I don't know if this is just me, but I thought to high pass, you press left bumper and then the receiver's button. Am I right about that?
I think you have to press like up on the joystick too,
What?
right?
No. Just left bumper. Left bumper.
Just left bumper.
Here's the thing. They told us before the year that you had to hit up, but don't hit up. You're gonna throw it wrong. Just hit left bumper.
Yeah.
No wonder I'm so trash.
I was doing that the entire time. So I'm playing CK in the wager, and we're in the red zone. I run that levels play because he was guarding the underneath route. The guy in the back end should be wide open. I try to high pass it with my quarterback. I press left bumper. I press left bumper, and I put down on the thumbstick. That's what I always do when I throw a high pass. I'm weird. And then I press the receiver, which was triangle. This quarterback threw the ball to square, who was running the damn drag. I was like, I didn't press his button. I was like, wait a minute. This is my quarterback. This Dak Prescott's not great, but the ball wasn't even thrown where I threw the ball at. And so, in that entire game, I'm looking at these plays where I would pass the ball to people who were wide open, and the ball was just not hitting any of its targets. And so I thought maybe it's because I was pass leading. So I stopped pass leading, and still I was missing guys who were wide open. So the high pass thing coming back, I think they might have, I don't know if left bumper, I think left bumper still works, but you just can't touch the thumbstick at all. Just when you're going to pass, just hit the damn button and press the button. But doing up and down on it now is just going to cause some issues because the quarterback accuracy has went down the tube.
Texas,
maybe unless you got a good quarterback.
Maybe one of your roommates playing a prank on you, and they actually just switched your buttons around on your controller.
That'd be kind of cool if they did that, right? They went here, get some wiring, some soldering, and switch stuff around.
Now that's a fire YouTube video right there. I switched his buttons. And they just have hidden cameras set up all over your bedroom watching you rage.
I'm not pressing this button.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of funny.
Great.
That'd be kind of funny. But I did notice what good quarterbacks like Tom Brady, I was playing with him in Draft Champions, but again, like, this is the next day. He was hitting every pass I needed him to. Mm-hmm. Except for the low pass. I did the high pass again, and he did a low pass. I'm like, okay, we're done with this.
Well, you're probably hitting down on the thumbstick then.
But I hit left bumper too.
Yeah, left bumper down on the left thumbstick is the low pass.
It's not left trigger no more?
No.
Or is that no?
Left trigger is the so
maybe if they didn't change the shit every year, it would be helpful.
So I got hit. Okay, so that's probably okay. But anyway, that's.
By the way, does anyone actually use target passing?
It really hasn't found a place in the meta. No.
Like I have not seen a single person use it effectively. I could be wrong. I think as soon as someone figures out how to do that, it is going to be super OP. But I haven't seen anybody be able to do it.
There's no time. Everybody's running nickel blitz. Everybody's running Tampa 2. Like, you have no time in the pocket.
The block sheds are wild. Yeah.
You can't master if you got no time.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, the GutFoxx Tampa 2 has really caught on, this year. Basically once Problem started running it, then everybody it's amazing what this community is. It's basically take what Problem runs and copy it for our own scheme. It's amazing to me.
That's how it's going to be, though, because Problem's the one guy who consistently streams and consistently makes YouTube videos and has good following on Twitch and things like that. I think there are a couple of guys like Joel and those guys that are getting to be more consistent. But right now, that's the only guy that you saw where you were seeing what he runs every time. And so, again, unless other people are uploading videos of them playing, everybody's just going to be like, oh, this is what all the best guys are running, so that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, generally it's also when tournaments are run and what's happening after tournaments. Like, so if people run something like the Skimbo Blitz from the first tournament that he ran, then that kind of got the 3-3-5 odd.
Yep.
But no, I was just amazed because last year I ran the Tampa 2 out of 3-3-5, and this year now Problem's running it, same thing. and now everybody's running it.
It's
amazing what kind of sheep.
You should take credit for the competitive meta. Like, you should just
It's
be
to-
like, you
okay,
should
so-
put that in your Twitter profile. Be like, created the Madden 18 Twitter or defensive meta.
Yeah, and then
2 years
everybody's
ago.
yeah.
That wouldn't get
So
anybody riled up, dude. I promise.
No, definitely wouldn't. Yeah, they're not defensive at all about that kind of stuff. Yeah, but anyways, let's move on to Team of the Week packs and Team of the Week this week. Kliquid, you had some strong feelings about it,
Dude. I don't know if you've seen, there are like quite a few people actually that put out videos today, not necessarily the biggest YouTubers, but, you know, decent sized YouTubers that were like, we got to stop opening these packs because they're terrible. They are truly ass. They don't, 30,000 coins for them, and they guarantee like nothing. They guarantee like crappy 75 to 79 overall golds. That is awful, man. And even if you pull anything good, unless you get super lucky, they're not going to be like substantially good. It's going to be like the Carson Wentz or something like that. That's really not that good. And if you look at its attributes almost across the board, other than speed and throw power, are worse than its core elite. Like significantly worse.
The throw power was upgraded by like 12 though. Right?
Yeah, definitely. That's a huge upgrade, of course. And the speed was upgraded, but like all of his throw accuracy went down.
Kinda
all
weird.
of it. Why? Like, one of the issues that we are all having right now is that our quarterbacks that aren't elite, they're not Tom Brady, like Tex said. Unless you have Tom Brady, you have to, like, if you were actually using Carson Wentz, imagine that, man. I'm sure that he's not hitting the thresholds, of course, with these things, so realistically it's probably not a real difference. But as a user, I'm looking at these numbers and I'm like, just why even change them then? It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Have we ever seen a Team of the Week where the guy's stats went down? Does anybody know?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have. Like,
We have?
Madden's notoriously known, well, not on purpose. I remember last year, Derek Wolf, he had his base, one of his elites, or I think it was a gold card. This was last year, to year before last. One of those things. Actually, it was last year. I remember specifically.
Okay.
He had 90 plus power move. And then Team of the Week came out, and then that Team of the Week had less power move than his old one.
Yeah.
A lot less. It was significantly noticeable too. Like, what are we doing here? So it happens all the time. It's just EA hopes you don't pay attention that much. Same thing happened with this is when the +1 thing first got rolled up, when they had that 86 Jamie Collins. No, 93 MVP Dwight Freeney versus his right end card. That was like a flashback.
Yeah.
They were the same ratings. And so the left outside linebacker was better. It was low rated, but it was better. So we've seen this in the past. I don't think that they pay attention enough to all the cards they put out. I think they forget. And so it takes people getting them riled up in order to fix it.
Well, let me ask you this, because they almost have to go out of their way to do that, don't you think?
I think it doesn't have to do with them upgrading the wrong card though.
Yeah,
could.
that and the fact they forget what cards they put out. They put out so many cards over here. Like it can probably get overwhelming. You probably you probably don't even have the 80 overall core elite wins in their database. And so they probably didn't know he had one until people compared it to that one. The one guy that happened to have one, it had a Twitter account, it had a little bit of a following, and they're like, oh, snap, we messed up. And they're probably going to fix it, or they're not going to fix it. But
Yeah, I was going to say, no, they're
kind of cool if they did fix it.
No, it's so weird though, man. Like, it goes back to, do these guys actually play the game? And I think we just continue to see that they pretty much don't, unfortunately.
I think some do, some don't. There are some people that just treat it as a job, and other ones that actually, like a lot of the ones that came as like from game changers and are now employed. I think they care about it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing is, I don't ever like to specifically call people out because I don't know, and I also know for a fact that they're understaffed. But again, I always go back to the fact that this is a multi-billion-dollar company. Staff up your fucking thing so that your people are not pissed. You know, like, if they could hire like 5 more people at $50,000 a year, that's $250,000. That is a drop in the bucket for a company like them. And if they had 5 more people working on this stuff, dude, that would be huge for them.
Yeah, and you got to factor in benefits at like a 40 to 50% rate.
You're right. But even if you doubled that, that's still only $500,000, and for a company like them, that's nothing. And if their entire audience is happier because of that move, I feel like it's a good thing to do. I don't
Yeah,
understand
but that's gonna
why.
piss off the shareholders. Like, here's the thing. This is my whole thing of it. I think the Madden developers are good, and they obviously care about what they do and the product they put out. I think the suits and the higher ups at EA are some of the worst
Scum.
assholes. Scum. Yeah,
Yeah.
scum's a good word.
Yeah.
Better for YouTube. That the God's ever put out. Like, maybe not the worst, but they're pretty scummy people with these microtransactions. The way that I think, like, all right, so this long shot mode. You know how Rex said this was like a competitive year, and then they put in this long shot mode. The suits say you're putting in this story mode. You're gonna sell more copies with the story mode. It's basically for beginners. The exact opposite of what Rex said coming into the year, that this year was going to be a competitive Madden, the year of the user, make it more skill intense. But then they're making this game mode. They're devoting almost half the resources to it, about making this single player mode that lasted us 4 hours. So it's a little bit of a organizational divide there. But I do think the developers on the ground are great, but the suits and the higher ups are pretty big dicks.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that.
All right.
Some
so
people
moving
might
on.
have disagreements on that, though. Certain other people might have disagreements about the individuals that work on Mutt itself, but we won't get into that.
Oh. From what we saw today on Twitter.
I didn't see anything on Twitter. I just know personal conversations that we've had that there are certain people that are absolutely furious at certain people that work in the higher up levels at Ultimate Team.
I gotcha. Like
Yeah.
certain other YouTubers.
Yeah.
All right. We won't name names.
We won't name names, but you might know. You might have heard of them.
Based on the recent heel turn on Twitter.
Face turn.
Face turn.
I like how the two perspectives there.
It's so funny because I knew that. I know that's Fox's reaction to it too. It's just hilarious. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyways.
Love you, buddy.
Yep. For people that didn't get it, it was about coin selling. All right. So moving. What's that?
I said, woo.
No, I'm just enjoying this. That's funny.
Yeah.
I was like, very good comedic timing right there.
So, Kliquid. We've kind of talked about this, but overall, what are your thoughts on Madden 18, including Mutt? Is this a step down from previous years, or how would you rate this compared? So, what was your first Mutt?
So I first started playing Madden Ultimate Team in Madden 25, and I started in about February. So it was well into the season. It was, way after everybody had good teams. So the nice thing was previously to being involved in YouTube or anything like that, I was already friends with Ryan, London, and Chase. Chase plays Madden. So I knew all three of those guys, and they were among the first YouTubers that did Madden. If they weren't, they probably weren't the absolute first, but they were like, probably one of the two or three of the top 10 people that started doing Madden on YouTube. So they had a decent following on all of their social media. So as soon as I got started playing Madden, they gave me like every good card that I could possibly want, which was awesome. So I didn't have to grind at all in Madden 25. That was great. I had like golden tickets and shit on my team, and I was running dual Donald Pens and running, quarterback rap and cheesing the shit out of everybody. Sorry, I'm cussing up a storm. I apologize, dude. But anyway, so I had a lot of fun playing that game at the time. And then Madden 15, I think, was probably the most fun that I had playing Madden because I guess probably Madden 25 was because I just had fun with the gameplay and stuff. But Madden 15 was a lot of fun because I was able to start doing various different things with pack openings, and it was still achievable, in my opinion, to get good cards in that game. Like realistically achievable without spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So that was pretty fun because then I could do like pink slips streams on the weekends and that kind of stuff. That was a really good time. Then Madden 16 came, and it just started to become downhill, in my opinion, and specifically in terms of the pack odds. It's like at this point now in Madden 18, you don't even see people pull good stuff. Not even like the big YouTubers that you used to think had juiced packs. Those guys aren't even pulling good stuff. And they're spending thousands of dollars. So I think my biggest gripe with this game at this point is that most people never get to play with the truly quote-unquote great cards in Madden Ultimate Team, or at least when they're great in relative comparison to the other cards in the game. most of the community never gets to touch the best card in the game at a given moment, or even like a top 5 best card in the game at a given moment, unless it's Draft Champions and you get super lucky. But the other problem is, of course, that Draft Champions never updates, so most of the time those are outdated too. So for a lot of the community, I feel like we're just in this weird mode where we're playing this game mode, and unless we're spending a ton of money on it, or even if we're spending a ton of money on it, we're never going to have a truly great team. And I think that the whole idea behind Ultimate Team in the first place, I remember Chase telling me this, because I remember complaining that, like, everybody has such a good team, and, like, I can't believe that everybody has a 99 overall team. But he's like, dude, the game mode is called Ultimate Team. You're supposed to build the ultimate team. So, like, yeah, everybody's got really good cards, but so what? It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have overpowered cards and everybody's crazy good. Why not? Who cares? Let's have some fun with it, you know? It shouldn't be one guy has every good card in the game and he matches up against a guy that's got an 86 overall team that just there's no chance in hell that he can win. That's just my opinion overall. I think the pack odds have pretty much ruined this game mode overall for most people.
So you're fine with everybody having 99s across the board?
Maybe not 99s overall, but I think just like to make it more achievable to actually get some of these legends, to actually get some of the high-end Team of the Weeks. I mean, we've seen this, man. How many of these cards actually get sold in a given day? I think VD brought it up last week on your podcast that he saw like 4 or 5 of the Mike Vicks get sold in an entire day. That's terrible, dude. That's terrible. And think about all the people that were spending money. All of you guys, you spent money on it. Tech spent money on it. Everybody spent money on it except for me. Trying to get this Mike Vick, and it's wild, dude. Nobody pulled the damn thing. No, you only pulled the crappy parts of it even. And then you want to try and complete the set. Well, guess what? It's unachievable because nobody pulled the good part of it. So even if you had coins, you still can't get this Mike Vick card. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. These cards are unachievable for almost everybody in the game, and that I think is a major problem.
I
gotcha. Texas, anything you want to add onto that?
Nah, that's perfect. Like that's my sentiment about packs as well. I don't think these cards are attainable, which is unfortunate that they aren't, because I feel like a lot of people would pay a lot of coins for them. But the Legend Fantasy packs probably need to get another rebuff.
Yeah. So Texas, what are your thoughts on everybody achieving a 99, or are you fine with the balance that Mutt's on, or would you like it to be easier for people to get higher overalls?
So I don't mind the high overall thing. I just don't like it when they kind of crash that market for that player by dropping cards that are cheaper. So this past week they dropped the bundle for the superheroes, right? Mm-hmm. And they crashed the price of every 91 zone card in the game. I didn't like that, mostly because like they're good value, but like these cards are kind of hard to pull as it is already, and now you're making them super cheap. So it needs to be a balance both ways, where if these cards can be that hard to pull, at least let them keep their value. But if they're going to crash it, at least make the cards able to be pulled a lot more. Because even if you still pull packs right now, there's no guarantee you're going to pull that a heap to leave, who's not going for as much as he was a week ago.
I got you. I think it's a very hard balance for them to get into with the packs, because if you see the same team over and over every game, everybody's got the same player. Like, remember a few years ago where that Amari Cooper was on every team? Was that 16?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's like where you'd see the same top 3 or something like the. I think was that the same year? The Peyton Manning no, that was 15. Anyways,
style Kuechly and Manning. Cooper.
I don't know. I think having teams be different, there's a value there.
There is.
So having everybody have like the top overall cards is kind of like. It's like, why don't I just go back to playing regs where it's Atlanta versus Atlanta if everybody's going to have the same team anyways? Well, so I like the oh, go on, Tex. Oh, go on, Click.
Oh, I was going to say, why not make it so that there's more of these players? As far as, like, it shouldn't just be like, well, Mike Vick is the best quarterback, and that's all there is to it. Well, how about let's have Mike Vick be the best running quarterback, and then we have a Tom Brady that's, a good deep ball thrower, and then we've got an Aaron Rodgers that's also very, very good. And they're all at least like attainable. They can be, they can still be pretty rare, but right now it's like they're just the problem. And then like for linebackers, right, you might have ones that are really good in run support and ones that are really good in pass coverage, various different things like that. So you don't just have this is the best card at the position. It should be this is the best card at the position if you want to do this certain thing with him. You know what I'm saying?
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. Yes.
I watched your video today about that Fox with the Mikey Apati. I don't know if we're gonna see that anymore with how they're doing ratings this year.
No, we're not, and it's a damn shame.
Yeah, agreed.
So, do you want to explain? Do you want to explain it, Texas?
Yeah, so Fox earlier did a video. You should check out on his channel. You're already on it, so just go ahead and just watch the video if you haven't seen it. He talked about how in past years Mikey Apati was one of the best run blocking guards in the game, but because Madden this year is doing everything based off ratings to make it make sense, since they in the past have not, Mikey Apati this year is more so balanced than he ever was before. He actually has like 81 pass block, like 84 run block, which is not how he actually should be rated, considering that he is a run blocking extraordinaire. But EA, to make ratings all around the same overall equal out, they had to do that. And so, unfortunately, there's no specialist. Everybody's good at everything once you get past like 87 overall.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and that goes back to the Charles Haley, too, that you mentioned before. He's definitely not a coverage linebacker in the real NFL.
Mm-hmm. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So once you get past that threshold or get past that rating thing, everybody is when ratings start getting a little bit more ridiculous, but it's still all consistent. So I do miss the days where a guy would be like, not like what? There's a few. I think ends are kind of like that, where they have a high finesse move, a high power move, no block shed. But even like that Bosa that just came out, he's pretty much a run blocking / pass rusher extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bosa's amazing at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if he should be, but I guess that's how we're gonna do it now. So.
Yeah. I really like. Oh, go on, Texas. Sorry.
No, I kind of missed the old way, and I'm not taking blame for this. It's not my fault. EA fixed the ratings, but also made them a little bit worse. Yeah. Not my fault or Kliquid's fault. That's just their fault for making them bad in the first place.
Texas is getting back to my point that him and Kliquid ruined the cards over 100. So for those people who didn't get the joke,
we didn't ruin it. We just exposed it.
Tomato, click. So, but back to Kliquid's point about the scheme fits and stuff. 100% agree that would be great. That like if you have a certain scheme that the player's the best. Repeat that. I can't repeat that enough. Love it. And I don't have anything to add on to it. I agree. I like the variety in teams, and I like that. And that's the whole thing. I think Madden's biggest issue, just in general, overarching, it's not balanced well enough. Like Kliquid said, there's one card that's really great. There's one play that's really great, that toss dive combo. So it's 2 plays combo out of slot dice. So the balance in this game needs to improve. So Kliquid would prefer it back in like 25 when everybody had 99s. I don't know if I like that style.
I don't know if I would go that far, by the way.
Okay. Well, okay. So everybody would have solid teams.
How about Madden 15? Because I think most people agree that as far as Ultimate Team goes, Madden 15 was pretty good, right?
Yes. I'm trying to. Yeah. I think in general, everybody loves their first MUT. Everybody loves their first MUT and say it's the best.
Yeah. Sure.
But that was your second MUT.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed Madden 25
third.
too, but I like to kind of like push that aside a little bit in my mind, just because, like I said, I was given such a good team that I didn't really get to. I really didn't experience the grind of pulling packs and having to get lucky and things like that. Although I did pull Barry Sanders in that game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Texas, you said it was your third Madden 15. What's your favorite?
What's your favorite? That was Kliquid's third too, because Kliquid got in a little early, but
no,
that was my third.
No, that was my second.
You got in Madden. That was your second.
Yeah, no, I got in in February of Madden 25, and I knew you actually before that, so you might have known me prior to it because of Wiza and those guys. Gotcha. I think I had talked to you a few times.
Pretty sure we have, and then cause I didn't really start talking with Ryan and them until probably you came along, because you are the bringer of worlds. Appreciate that.
Right.
But
so now you get to experience Ryan's weird ass all the time. Great.
Right? That's kind of crazy. But yeah, MUT 15 was. I might need to go back and like just rank how these games work. It's kind of hard to think back. What, that was like 2 years ago.
15?
3 years ago.
3 years.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago. Jeez, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. But I just remember the value in like silvers and golds back then. Like a lot of the cards went to those
really?
sets.
No.
I just remember being able to pull good shit.
You remember those low tier golds?
I remember the low tier golds.
Foot? Larry Foot was like 1 million coins.
Yeah.
And that sucked.
That was dumb.
That was terrible.
You didn't like that?
No, that's dumb. That's dumb.
You didn't like that?
The freaking left guard for the the Lions or whoever it was. Dude, like we got or it was a defensive tackle, I think, for the Lions. But anyways, whatever.
70 overall Larry Foot, bro, middle linebacker for the Cardinals, 1 million coin pool.
I just think about like going back to those games and watching YouTubers at the time. And I hate to go back to the YouTubers, but YouTubers are a huge advertising feature for EA. And we're at the point now where they can't even like give these guys points anymore to open packs because they know they're not going to pull shit unless they juice the packs, which supposedly they can't do, quote unquote, right? But they don't even give them points anymore to open packs. They literally give them the rare card, as you guys were talking about last year, so that they can have it in a gameplay. Think about how wild that is. Think about how much things have changed, because back in Madden 15 and Madden 25, you could actually pull good stuff in packs. You can't really pull that great of stuff now. Yeah, you might be able to get close to your coins back, or if you get super, super lucky, you might pull something great. But for the most part, man, if you do $100 pack opening, if you open up both Team of the Week bundles, most people pulled nothing of any sort of value in those. That's disgusting. That is disgusting.
I'm about to figure something out real quick. I think Madden 15 was my best year when it came to a pack luck. So
of course it was.
Right now. Oh yeah, but like this is the thing that's crazy. I think I pulled like 2,000 packs in Madden 15, had the best luck I've had, and then after that, it's like 10,000. Right. My luck's just going downhill.
You're pulling 5 times as many packs and still not pulling any legends.
All right, so Madden 15. Oh, I can't see my pack count no more. He took it off. No, it was here. It was between 2,000 and 4,000, and I had like crazy pulls, and ever since then it's just been much worse.
So they took your pack count off Mutt Rewards. Texas got banned live on podcast.
We're good. I was on Xbox. I was on PS4 like a noob. I pulled 3,600 packs in Madden 15.
Yep.
You can look at my channel. I pulled a lot of valuable stuff, and then since then it's just been going downhill. The game's got better, but the packs have gotten worse.
Yeah. You guys were talking about that last week, that it used to be that Madden Ultimate Team was so fun and the gameplay lagged behind, and now it's like the gameplay is actually – the competitive players might disagree, but I think for an average consumer the gameplay is better now than it used to.
Yep.
But the Ultimate Team experience is garbage. It is not fun. I would go as far as to say it's not fun. I really would.
It's just they took everything out of the game.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yep. Basically, yeah. Yeah.
There's so much they can do with their property, and maybe it's down to lack of staff, and they're just they're like Texas mentioned, they're just running up to their deadlines with their hair on fire for everything again. But man, there's so much they could do with this thing.
It sucks, man. Think about how many promos we've had so far this year, like actual real promos with new cards in the game. If you count Team of the Week,
that's quick.
If you count Team of the Week, it's 2.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Count Team of the Week, it's 3.
Yeah. If you count Team of the Week, it's 3. The game's been out for 2 months.
And one of them was supposed to launch with the game.
Yeah. Think about that. It's ridiculous. And that's actually including the superheroes thing, right? Or whatever the hell they're called.
That's including superheroes.
Yeah. I mean, that shit just came out.
I guess they technically have Football Outsiders too, once a month.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But that's down from previous years.
Right. Those were consistent throughout any previous Madden. If you remove those, they've done nothing this whole year. Yeah. They've done nothing. We had these crappy core elites and nothing else. Other than legends on the weekend, of course, but that are all unattainable.
And the legends are worse too. So, Mutt, that's Kliquid thoughts. All right, so I want to hear about your ideas going forward. I still got a video to do on it. I want to snatch your ideas and pass them off as my own. What do you think Mutt can do going forward, Kliquid, to improve your experience?
I mean, honestly, man, it to me, it totally comes back to like making it fun to open packs again, because you have to keep in mind that one of the biggest things that people enjoy about this game is just the experience of opening packs and having that possibility of getting good things. And I feel like that is just so lost right now. It really is. When we go back to our childhood, or even for some people currently, buying boxes of physical trading cards, right? A lot of the time you would buy those boxes and you wouldn't really get very many good things, but you might get one or two pretty good things out of it. You might pull like your favorite player in like a rare version or, something like that of your favorite player. But now it's like you can open hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of packs and not pull over an 85 overall. And for a lot of people, like your teams, I bet you guys, both of you, if you pulled an 85 overall at any position, it would not start for your team. Right?
Nope.
So for most people, they're not pulling cards that can – I shouldn't say most, but for the people that are spending money on the game, like you, Fox, I would be furious if I was you. If I spent a ton of money every weekend on the game and I never – like you barely even have the possibility of pulling something that can help your team. In order for you to get anything that can help your team, you have to put money into the game at $50 to $100 a pop, and then you have to go through the grind of selling your golds and your silvers, which to me, that's the kind of thing that should be for the people that don't put money into the game. Those are the types of things that you should expect. The grind, right? If you're putting money into the game, the whole point of putting money into the game is to reduce the amount of grind that you have to do. But you really don't anymore at this point. You still have to do the grind to get the coins, and then you have the coins to go in and potentially buy one of the good cards that you want. It's basically like coin buying at this point, if you look at it like that. The pack opening experience is just not good on Madden right now, and I think that's a lot of the reason why not everybody is killing it on YouTube as far as views go. If you look at Toke's views, for example, and you compare them from Madden 15 or Madden 16 to now, they're half as much. And Toke,
really?
Yeah, they're half as much. And it's crazy, isn't it? It really is.
Well, okay. There's two factors. Maybe it's the packs. Also, there's a ton more YouTubers now.
True. Very true. Very
There's
valid.
a lot of competition in the search results.
There is, for sure. But
okay, go on.
I was just gonna say, but generally speaking, though, I think a lot of that is because people are not as interested in watching certain content anymore. The pack opening videos used to kill it back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think it's because people don't like pack openings. I think it's because they know that the pack openings are going to be bad almost every time. It used to be.
And
go ahead.
To be fair again, sorry to cut you off.
No problem.
There's a ton of pack opening YouTubers right now. Like
True.
all they do. Like I could name 5 off the top of my head that open almost every single pack.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more people doing that kind of content.
Sure.
Too.
Fair enough. But your big YouTubers, those people usually are able to overcome the competition, because everybody's going to watch, just as an example, Chewbacca, right? They're going to watch him, but then they're not only going to watch him. Like, let's be honest, they're also going to watch Berg, and they're also going to watch Toke, and they're also probably going to watch K, right?
Yeah.
So those guys are probably still going to be okay. It's the people that are the mid-level YouTubers that are not going to get as many views on pack opening videos. And I think who cares about the mid-level YouTubers, right? Like the general Madden community shouldn't really care necessarily about our plight, but what they should care about is the fact that these packs are so trash that people don't want to watch pack opening videos anymore, even if you are Toke or Anto or those guys. They just it's brutal at this point, in my opinion, to watch a pack opening video. I used to watch them personally myself. I don't watch anybody's pack opening videos anymore unless I know for a fact that they pulled something great. Then I want to see their reaction, right?
I agree. I have stopped posting pack openings unless I get something good. And you know how you talked about me? I was hoping you wouldn't bring me up as an example for MUT 18. If you would have asked me this question 6 days ago, I'd have been like, yeah, packs are ass this year. In the last 6 days,
I know.
I pulled limited time Bennett, and then I pulled the legend this weekend, Talib.
I know that's a good point, but still, for the most part, man, they've
been terrible.
Okay, I'm not going to call out your specific numbers because I don't know them, first of all, and I would never do that even if I did. But you've put a substantial amount of money into this game, and the fact that you've only pulled those is pretty bad if you think about it.
Yeah, it essentially breaks even with my revenue from YouTube for the amount of money I put in. So I'm whatever. It's fine to me. But for if I put it on Twitter, what my revenue was $3,300 last year, and that's about what I spent. That's a little bit more than what I'd have to check my bank statements.
Okay.
It about does it.
That's
so
wild if you
yeah,
think about that.
yeah.
If you spent $1,000 on packs in a season, you should have the best possible team. $1,000 on a video game, dude. Think about that. You should have the best team.
The thing is, like, I think Mr. Golden Sports in Madden 16 said he spent $20,000.
That's so insane.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
insane.
been this way for a while.
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, though, is it just continues to get worse and worse as far as that goes, because you continue to not be able to pull things. And if you want to go about doing things the way that you do, which is above the books and, not coin sponsor, anything like that, it becomes harder and harder, I imagine, every single day to see that you just, for the most part, prior to this week, that you just can't get those cards that you want. I mean, you could because you have the coins now because of it, but like that's frustrating, dude. But
it is a grind.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's brutal. You shouldn't have to grind and spend money on the game. It should be one or the other.
So do you think EA should sell coins then?
Well, they can't, right?
Yeah, they can. MLB The Show does.
The 2K does as well, but I think Madden said they can't.
I thought
Why?
There's no monetary value for.
that's
virtual
what I
coins.
thought the issue was.
But then how does MLB do the same thing?
I think
And
it's
they
just
ban coin
some legality
sellers.
stuff. They just don't want to do it that way. I think they'd rather have the packs because they can dictate what you're doing. With
Okay.
it, I think it just comes down to the economy standpoint because 2K sold VC, and VC can buy packs. It can't buy play, but it can buy packs, and and then you can translate that into MT. But then before, 2K used to sell VC where you can buy players or you can buy packs. This is before they changed it. And then the show, they sell stubs, obviously, that can get both packs and players. I think Madden just likes this format of the pack openings because going back to some developer, I forgot who said this. He said he wants people's reactions when it comes to pulling packs to have that great experience. That's why pack odds are kind of the way they are, because they're trying to get people to have that reaction. And so I think that's the reason why they don't just sell the coins directly, even
They
though
want
it'll
people to
fix all their issues.
They want people to have the reaction of being pissed that they didn't pull anything every weekend.
or keep being like, I'm gonna pull on something eventually. He will be up.
That's such like a gambler's mentality. It's so like it's like it's kind of sick to see, to be honest.
Want
with
to capitalize on that market, man. Like if they were to split that market in half for guys who just buy coins, then they wouldn't have probably as much revenue.
Right.
And then everything would be a little bit more expensive because then guys that are buying coins aren't buying packs.
And people wonder
then-
why kids scam.
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. All right. So this is one thing I wanted. So Kliquid brought up the fun question with packs, and that's one half of it, in my opinion. The fun of opening packs, the excitement. Besides, outside of like our basic ass animations, where like FIFA has walkouts and NBA has their stuff. That's one half of the fun of opening packs. But I want to get to the other half, the value in packs of the coins. I've seen some packs this year in Madden that have actually been pretty worth it when you consider what the black market is priced at. But people still hate the packs because of the fun value. Like, where's the trade-off there? I haven't heard from Texas in a little bit. Between the fun and the value in packs, Texas.
The fun and value in packs. I just think it comes down to what you're like pulling, and so the fun is not there. I don't think for a lot of people until you get something good. Because they tried to hype you up with the 80 overall elite, but because they didn't change the animation or anything. So, like, if I don't know, it's such a simple fix, right? I think the fun will be there if you knew what you're about to get out of packs. 2K has that great thing. If you pull a diamond, like last year, it would light up silver / whatever color that could be, diamond color. It was like, so you'd be like, okay, this is dope, and you have more fun doing it that way, and you can just siphon through all the garbage. Whereas with this year, you can't really have fun when you're getting cock teased the entire time. You keep pulling 80 overall elites.
Yeah,
you're literally being like, you're out here getting blue balls every single time to the point where you get that good pull. You're like, oh, I got a good pull. Like you can't even react because you've been getting nothing but garbage the entire time.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the reason why the packs aren't as fun is because they did not change up the elite flash for team of the weeks, for legends. Like you don't see a blue flash for a legend. I don't know how hard it is to code into the game. I don't make the game. I don't code the game. I mean, I came up with that idea when they first introduced it. I know everybody probably suggested the same thing as well, but they didn't do it. They didn't do anything for team of the week. They didn't like the flashbacks, like pink, like a lot of things they can do to make people have that excitement to get something they didn't expect to get. But nope, they just have everything the same, and so I think that's where it comes down to, where you can't really have fun when you've been getting hit in the face over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and when it doesn't hit you, you can be like, oh snap, you didn't hit me that time. You expect to get nothing, and so I think that's what it comes down to.
I gotcha. Yeah. So like, all right, one thing I think that can improve it for everybody is if they bring the quick sell back in the game, like the Madden 16 quick sells, not the Madden 17.
Back in the packs?
Yeah,
that'd be kind
yeah.
of.
Yeah, so Texas
also MUT tips as well, so that way they can replace the quick sell MUT tips, bring MUT tips back, so we have something that we pull packs we can expire for.
That'd be kind of cool because that brings some fun into, like, say you get a whole bunch of silvers and you don't want to go to the market and sell it all.
Yeah.
Just bring
MUT
the
tips,
just do the quick sells to get them,
redemptions.
so that way you don't have to grind to sell them on the market. You just get them all out and still have decent coin rewards. But
Wheel of Packs too, man. Like all
Wheel
of those
Packs
types of things.
also.
I mean, like those things were rarely worth it, but at least it was fun to open those packs. At least you knew you were going to get something of value out of those packs.
Yeah,
there's so many packs.
For videos.
Exactly. There in this game, dude. There's no packs that you can open where you're guaranteed to get something good.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
not anymore. Baby goats are gone. Well, yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's pretty sad if you really think about that. Even like back in the day, it was like the flashback packs that you had to do a ton of stuff to get, and they were probably not going to be worth it. But at least you were going to pull a card that was like decent. At this point, I know for a fact that if I pull even the Team of the Week packs that are 30K or whatever ones that they put out on the weekends or whatever, they're probably not going to contain anything that has any sort of value, unfortunately. And that just sucks.
Yeah.
It's not a fun experience to open packs right now. But going back to your point, though, of what's crazy is that these packs are probably like pro packs, for example. Ryan made a video, and it was called like the pro pack method, I think he called it, or something like that. And it was literally just like, open the pro packs, sell the stuff from the pro packs. Like, and he was showing that like a lot of these packs, if you actually go in and you sell each and every individual thing out of them, you could sell the 70 to 74 overall golds for this amount and 75 to 79s for this amount, and then you would sell your silvers, and then you would basically get your close to your coins back on every single one, which would make it then achievable for you to do something like open 200 packs, where eventually out of those 200 packs you're going to pull something of decent value. That was like the only way that you could go about opening enough packs to actually get a good card. But then now, of course, you guys talked about last week that Mike Vick kind of crashed the market on the gold cards, so now that's not even achievable.
Yeah. It's rebounded a little bit, I've seen, but not back to where it was.
Much,
I don't
man.
think so.
That Vic, he ruined the market, man.
Yeah.
I've never. Kirk Cousins was 75K. He's 25K now, and he's not going back up.
Oh, never mind. It's even down. It's down further. My bad. Like, I thought it popped a little.
He wrecked the market. I mean, like that Sunday for some reason, or it was that Saturday.
Yeah.
For some reason, golds were like at 7 million coins on Daddy Leagues. They went back up to 7 million for some reason, and then they take back down to 5.
Yeah,
so
it
sprung a little
now.
bit. Yep. It sprung up a little bit, but it was.
It's down to 4.7, so it's bad now.
Yeah,
they crashed everything.
So when you have that happen, then you're basically looking at almost every single pack in the game, unless you pull something super crazy, is not going to get you your coins back. That's a problem.
Yeah, the actual Mutt Hero packs were pretty good, but I don't know on a coin basis. On a money basis, they were solid if you sold the contents.
If you open initially, if you open now, it's still fine. It's better than what it would have been.
It's like 14K for one of those 80 overalls, right?
Yeah, it was really good value there, especially because I know some people sold their cards like 550 early on. They did the set and did the elite token and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Before it required an extra 84 overall player.
But even 300 points for 30,000 coins, that's not bad.
No, it's not. You're right. That's the thing. Like those things that they're doing.
Sorry, it was 600 points. Yeah, that was a little worse. 600 points for 2 of them. Yeah, that's a little worse. Sorry, Kliquid, go on.
No. I mean, they sometimes will, like Tex said, tease you just a little bit as far as, hey, maybe it's going in the right direction, but then it just doesn't seem that way in the end, you know?
It'll go back up eventually. I don't know what they need to do. Maybe adding power-up sets for more players instead of the ones that already have them. Maybe another type of team hero / leader set to raise it back up. But right now, golds are going to keep plummeting because not many people are pulling packs, and those that have pulled packs are just waiting to sell because they don't really have to. There's no point in selling for a loss at this point. I think I spent money on Madden at the wrong time. I didn't think. I know I spent money on Madden at the wrong time.
When is the right time to spend money on Madden at this point?
before Vic comes out, well, obviously. If I would have pulled those Legend Fantasy packs that Thursday, I'd have been good. That Friday, Saturday though, whoo.
Yeah, it's too little, too late. Unless you pull Vic, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
All right, so Texas, one final question to wrap up the podcast. What ideas do you have going forward to improve MUT?
To improve MUTs, one, give us more flashbacks every single week. Flashback Fridays. Add one in the game. You don't gotta add a lot. And I don't like it when they add like current players to the flashbacks. Like, go legends, man. Like, that'd be kind of better than if a guy's a crazy week, they won't feel obligated not to give him a card. Obviously, improve. I can't really say improve pack outs. Maybe just add more to packs, because maybe the sets will make the gold cards and silver cards more valuable in the end, as opposed to just making pack outs better. So more sets that require those cards. They did a good job with the Gauntlet Unleashed. It's less grindy. Because before, I don't know if you played both of them, GutFoxx, but to get 3 collectibles a week, you had to spend 6 hours.
It's so bad, yeah.
And so now it's much better. So they did a good job there. But just keep listening to us. I mean, they hear our feedback on some things. Obviously, I want more power-ups in the game for more cards, even though they're not really worth it because they're just a coin sink right now. Yep. But just I want more things to do with my friends or with you as a YouTube content creator, because people want to see certain things that I just can't provide for them. So long if they add the stuff that we had in years past, I think we'll be good. Also, stop hiding off Twitter. Answer our questions, people. I don't understand why you guys is out here hiding like you Saddam Hussein in bunkers. Yo, it's not that serious.
Yeah, I saw Jake finally made his triumphant return to Twitter to take a beating immediately from people.
And that's why they leave Twitter. It's because everybody got so pissed at them. I would definitely not be on Twitter if that's how people talk to me.
No.
Well, it took a beating because he said he made it seem like bots were the main reason why they changed the squads.
Right. He's just being snarky. We've all been snarky.
I understand to be snarky, but you can't be snarky. You're in a position of power, bro.
It's true.
Well then, I don't know.
I don't like that.
Myself. I prefer in America where people understand sarcasm.
I do too. But he works for EA, and people are going to take it to the heart. And then he had to go and apologize because he knew he was wrong. If he knew he calls it up.
Can't we just tell people to stop being so butthurt?
We could do that.
Yeah.
But then nothing gets solved by doing that, though. Nothing ever
really
gets solved by saying
telling people to take a chill pill doesn't solve problems.
No, you're just gonna get hit in the face. That's what's gonna happen. Don't tell me what to do, bro. I do what I want to do. I want to freak out about them. I'm gonna freak out about this. That's how it goes.
No, we live in a crazy culture
who died and made
right
you
now
in charge?
Everybody's
who died and made you the authority on when I should freak out, huh?
Dude, just look
Texas
at look at the kneeling at the national anthem stuff like that. If that's not an example of people overreacting to stuff, I don't know what is, man.
It's
on both sides. On both sides.
Wait, what?
It's two sides of this?
Yeah.
On the right side and the wrong side, right?
No, I think I think the people that so obviously
don't say it.
What?
Don't say it. No, we can't be doing this on the podcast.
No. I'm not gonna get into anything.
Oh.
I just think I think people just get super aggressive about what their opinion is on it on both sides. My opinion is, of course, I really don't care. Who cares? I don't watch the football game for the damn national anthem, but I just see people getting crazy about it, man. On both sides, they just get so butthurt. It's wild. And that's.
I got nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. It's getting late.
Still got to finish though. We still got to finish. GutFoxx, what would you do to make Mutt more funny?
Yeah.
You guys got to listen to my next video.
Ooh, teaser.
Tease it. All right. No, I can. Here, let me go to my.
document. No. You sold it well.
Give us one as a little appetizer.
Oh, okay. A snippet.
Yeah.
A taste.
A taste. Let's see where. Let's see. Let me scroll down. It's combined with the last video. We kind of. I basically want them to give us something. We talked about this outside of solos or head to head to do. Do you guys know how? Maybe doesn't 2K have a park and mini games and stuff too? Could EA do something like we mentioned with the packs. I want the wheel of packs. Something like watch what a YouTuber does, and watch what's popular on YouTube. Wheel of packs, like MMG does, Victionary does. Everybody does a wheel. Put a wheel into Mutt, so you can maybe pay I don't know 7,500 coins, and instead of doing a pack opening, you spin the wheel, and then on the wheel will be random prizes from like a player or maybe a pack, and then wherever the wheel lands, you get that prize. And it's like there's something like there's a crappy part, and then there's a really cool part.
Yeah, definitely. That would be cool, man. I mean, they kind of had that with the Wheel of Packs before, like you said.
Yeah, but this is just like a Jeopardy wheel.
Right.
No,
right.
Not Jeopardy.
Wheel of Fortune wheel.
Wheels of Fortune.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. Just copy what's popular on YouTube, what people want to see, and it's you put it in the game like a mini game like that. I don't know. That's just one of the ideas.
Yeah, definitely, man. That would be a lot of fun. I think. I think people would, even non-YouTubers, I think would have fun doing that.
Oh yeah, I think it would be a blast. That kind of gambling stuff. So that's a tease for the next video.
Yeah.
But that is it for the podcast. MUT Men number 81. Kliquid, thank you. Such a good talker. A lot of good ideas and stuff that we talked about, and a lot of critiques of EA they went through. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Texas.
And make sure you rate these guys, by the way.
Yes.
On all of your platforms, iTunes especially.
Yeah, that's how we get discovered on iTunes. I just learned about it a few weeks ago. Texas, thank you, sir, once again, for hanging out.
I didn't cough.
You didn't.
Congrats, I guess, on your non-cough.
Round of applause for the cause, baby. Round of applause for the cause.
Love it. Take it easy, dudes.
All right, see you guys.